Summertime hockey. Happy game day, Sharks fans. The 2023 Sharks Development Camp concludes here tonight with the Sharks Prospects Scrimmage as Team Teal takes on Team White here at Tech CU Arena, the home of the American Hockey League San Jose Barracuda. The winner of this game, they'll take home the March Mint Cup. Dick Nolenberger alongside Sharks alumni Scott Hannon. Scott, you've been a guest coach all week. You've seen these guys firsthand. What have been your impressions of some of these young players within the Sharks organization?
Yeah, you know, it was a fun time out there. A lot of these kids showing what they've got, running through a little practice. You know, and it's cool to see these kids. Some of them, it's their first camp. You know, first time they come right off the draft. So, you know, I got to work with some of the D. I liked a lot of them, to be honest. I thought the pace of camp was really good. I talked to some of the other coaches. They like some of the size that, you know, Mike Greer and them were able to add. They got a little bit of beef, you would call it, out there. So, you know, I like guys like Havelid. I thought that Axel Landon from Sweden, I thought he had a really good one. You know, Jake Furlong, I thought, you know, there's a couple kids. A young kid that I like, Luca Cagnoni. He's like, you know, small Portland Winterhawks. He's got some skill, makes some good reads. I'm interested to see in this game how they play. Sometimes in practice, you got guys, and they're moving the puck well, or some guys, maybe he doesn't wow you here. I'm interested to see how they react in a game situation, a little more pressure on them. Looking forward to this.
At one point, you were a Sharks prospect. You had a long career in the National Hockey League, but you were that nervous prospect at one point. What do you think some of these guys are thinking their first time throwing on a teal sweater?
You know, sometimes it's that first camp. It's that first time you come. Either it's a development camp or maybe it was rookie camp for the first time. And there's nerves, and you want to impress people, but you're also kind of wide-eyed a little bit. So, and then it's that second camp, that third camp where you really can step in. It takes a pretty special player to come in here and wow in their first camp and try to have that confidence. So I'm interested, like I said, these young kids, this is their first camps, to come out and see what they do here in the game tonight.
Well, the Sharks made a couple of big decisions, hopefully for their future, just a couple of weeks ago with the 2023 NHL Draft. They selected twice in the opening round, including 4th overall as they selected Will Smith, who is projected to make his way over to Boston College next season. Smith had a chance to talk to the media earlier this week, and he talked about being a Shark. It's been a short stint, only a couple of weeks, but he talked about the experience so far.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I think just to get to put on the gear has been pretty special after getting drafted. Like you said, it was a whirlwind, but now that I'm here, I kind of get to settle down and you know, get to know everyone.
The Sharks' other #1 draft choice in 2023 was Quentin Musty. They took him out of the Ontario Hockey League, 26th overall. He's 18 years old as of today. It's Musty's 18th birthday here today, and what a great way to celebrate. He gets to play in this scrimmage. First thing that sticks out about this player, he's 6'4", 205 pounds as an 18-year-old. Here was Musty talking about the type of player the Sharks are getting in him.
You know, competitiveness. I think you know, I bring a lot of energy to teams I come to, and yeah, I think I'm a gamer in that aspect of just you know, late in the game, just when the team needs energy or needs a big play. I think that's the kind of guy I am.
I love that word, gamer. Just got out of the playoffs. That's a great word, and you hope that he can be a part of the Sharks as they continue to push towards this new era. Young, excited, and very skilled hockey players, Musty and Will Smith, hopefully part of the future for the San Jose Sharks. Tonight's game will be a normal 3-period game, but it has a few wrinkles, if you will. The first period is going to be 24 minutes in length. It'll be 5-on-5. Then we'll take a 15-minute break. They'll cut the ice. It'll be a quote-unquote intermission. Then we'll have period number 2. That'll be 4-on-4 for 12 minutes. Then we'll take a short break. They will not cut the ice again. We'll play 3-on-3 for 12 minutes. The winner of the 3-period game, although the periods are a little bit lopsided, they will take home the March Mint Cup. Now, if we have a tied game after 3 periods, we'll use the shootout to decide it no matter what, though. If a team is ahead, that'll be the winner, but we'll have a shootout no matter what. The first team to score 3 goals will win the shootout, but the winner of the March Mint Cup will either be decided in regulation if the game's not tied, but if it is tied, we will go to a shootout. We had a chance to catch up with Barracuda head coach John McCarthy. He'll be on the bench tonight for Team Teal along with the rest of his coaching staff. We'll go over the coaching staffs, the teams, the players that are in the lineup tonight, some of the guys given the night off, but we'll go over who is in and who is out when we come back. But first, when we return, we will be joined by the aforementioned John McCarthy. That's all coming up next. This is San Jose Sharks Hockey Summer Edition. It's the 2023 Prospect Scrimmage.
Join us for Los Tiburones, presented by Milagro Tequila on October 14th against the Colorado Avalanche. To commemorate the celebration of Hispanic heritage, every fan in attendance will receive a Sharks-themed luchador goalie mask designed by local artist Luis Guardado. Don't miss out on an unforgettable night of Sharks hockey, unity, and cultural celebration with us by securing your tickets at sjsharks.com/tickets. That's sjsharks.com/tickets today. Join us for Los Tiburones, presented by Milagro Tequila on October 14th against the Colorado Avalanche. To commemorate the celebration of Hispanic heritage, every fan in attendance will receive a Sharks-themed luchador goalie mask designed by local artist Luis Guardado. Don't miss out on an unforgettable night of Sharks hockey, unity, and cultural celebration with us by securing your tickets at sjsharks.com/tickets. That's sjsharks.com/tickets today.
When you hear coordinated care, what do you imagine? Nurses going viral for their dance routine? Not here. At Kaiser Permanente, coordinated care has nothing to do with dancing and everything to do with quality and convenience. With Kaiser Permanente, you don't have to worry about getting your records sent from place to place because our electronic medical records seamlessly connect all of your doctors, nurses, and specialists. It's so easy, you might do your happy dance. Kaiser Permanente, tomorrow's healthcare today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
The Hilton San Jose is the preferred hotel of the San Jose Sharks and SAP Center in San Jose. Experience something new. Close to home or from across the world, the Hilton San Jose is there for you with memorable offers and experiences. Enjoy the brand new guest rooms with luxurious Waldorf Astoria beds and upgraded amenities. We're committed to creating a safe and relaxing experience, including delivering an even cleaner stay from check-in to check-out. Visit sanjose.hilton.com now to make your reservation. We are Hilton. We are hospitality.
Nick Nolenberger joined alongside by the head coach of the San Jose Barracuda, John McCarthy. We connect in the middle of the summer, a little bit different setting, but there's been a lot of new faces that have joined the organization over the last 2 weeks. 9 new players drafted in the 23 draft, and we saw quite a few of those guys over the last handful of days. From your perspective, how have these last couple of days been here at development camp and your role and being on the ice with these guys?
Yeah, they've been good. You know, it's an exciting time of year when you get as you said, the guys we just picked up, get them on the ice right away and kind of see where they're at on some different things. It's not, the camp's not all that much evaluation. It's more, development, hence the name. So, it's really hard to get much of a feel. It's mostly teaching drills, small area stuff. But we're more interested in kind of their approach. Are they ready to be pros? Eventually, do they have that mindset that they want to get better? And so far I think it's all positive there.
I know Mike Greer's talked about it a little bit. Also getting the players out here, it makes them feel like Sharks. They put on the uniform maybe for the first time. They're in the building. They're getting one-on-one coaching from you guys. Organizationally, how would you, I guess, articulate what this 4-day period is all about?
Yeah, I think it's about getting them out there, and I think that's exactly right, making them feel part of the organization. Introducing them to everybody, getting to sit down with some guys, spend some time with them a little bit away from the rink, get to know them a little bit as people, and then start to develop their game, start to let them know that, hey, this is a profession, this is a job, you have to treat it as such, and kind of give them some things to go back to for their season. Some of them will be at training camp, some of them won't, depending on NCAA or not. Give them some stuff to go back and work on with their team.
Patrick Marleau officially joining the organization. He'll be a development coach. He'll be on the ice quite a bit with your players this upcoming season. You played with Patty, and his career speaks for itself. But what will it be like to have a guy like that around the players, just to bestow some wisdom?
I think it's great, and for me, I'd put myself in that group too. To be able to run ideas by him and get his insight on some different stuff is huge. It's a huge advantage to have someone like that wants to give back, that wants to, help this next wave of players. So it'll be great. And then I think the other part of your question, obviously he has instant credibility with the guys. I think actually they're a little bit starstruck when he first talks to them, but knowing him, he takes the time with the players, invests in the relationship, and I think it's going to be all good.
So you and your coaching staff, you'll coach Team Teal tonight. You've got the number 1 setter, Will Smith, the Sharks' big draft pick. He'll be your starting center to begin the hockey game. What do you think of your team? Just a quick kind of overlook of who's going to be on your roster.
I like us deep down the middle. Some big bodies on the back end. I'm excited to see what they got. I think we're going to do a little bit of 5-on-5, a little bit of 4-on-4, a little bit of 3-on-3. So everybody's going to get some ice, and it's a good opportunity for them to show what they can do.
Well, it's been fun seeing faces. Everybody kind of goes away for a while. You come back, you hang out for a few days, and then everybody will disperse again for the off season. Coach, we appreciate the time. It's been great seeing you, and I guess best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Join us for Los Tiburones, presented by Milagro Tequila on October 14th against the Colorado Avalanche. To commemorate the celebration of Hispanic heritage, every fan in attendance will receive a Sharks-themed luchador goalie mask designed by local artist Luis Guardado. Don't miss out on an unforgettable night of Sharks hockey, unity, and cultural celebration with us by securing your tickets at sjsharks.com/tickets. That's sjsharks.com/tickets today.
The Hilton San Jose is the preferred hotel of the San Jose Sharks and SAP Center in San Jose. Experience something new. Close to home or from across the world, the Hilton San Jose is there for you with memorable offers and experiences. Enjoy the brand new guest rooms with luxurious Waldorf Astoria beds and upgraded amenities. We're committed to creating a safe and relaxing experience, including delivering an even cleaner stay from check-in to check-out. Visit sanjose.hilton.com now to make your reservation. We are Hilton. We are hospitality.
Get in the festive spirit and give the gift of Sharks hockey this holiday season. Be at the Tank on December 21st as the San Jose Sharks take on the Arizona Coyotes. Every fan in attendance will receive a special edition holiday sweater jersey. Whether you want to be the best dressed at your holiday party, need a last-minute gift idea, or want to be featured on the big screen at the game, come celebrate with us this year and secure your tickets at sjsharks.com/tickets today.
Phones, laptops, and tablets aren't just devices. They're the keys to connecting to your health. At Kaiser Permanente, you can connect faster with video visits and our easy-to-use app. Track your health with access to most lab results and health records. You can even make appointments, email doctors, and fill most prescriptions. Kaiser Permanente. Tomorrow's healthcare today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
Appointments as available and appropriate. Features available from Kaiser Permanente facilities.
Sharks video coaches, we welcome you back inside Tech CEO Arena. Nick Noldenberger alongside Sharks alumni Scott Hannon. Scott was a celebrity coach, if you will, for the last few days and gotten on the ice. You still got to get on the ice one day, and you're in fifth play hockey, so not like you're out of shape, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm down here at the rink all the time. So, it was fun. My career asked me to come out, help out, skate with the young kids. And it's nice being around guys. You're going through practice and you're working, you're talking hockey all the time. Great to see the young kids, the energy they bring to the ice. So it was a lot of fun out there.
Let's go quickly over who's going to be in the lineup here tonight for Team Teal and Team White. We'll go over who's going to start. For Team White, it's Filip Bystedt, who will center the number 1 line, number 1 pick of the Sharks last year. He was the SHL's Rookie of the Year last year. He will center a line with Quentin Musty, who the Sharks selected in the first round this year. He'll play the left wing. And on the right side, it'll be Ethan Cardwell, who will likely be with the Barracuda next season as the puck is down and we're underway. It's Team Teal versus Team White, as White will steer it in deep. Cardwell gets it down low, and it's played along the near side by the netminder, Romanov, who was signed out of Russia this past offseason. Big goaltender, and that's going to be a theme amongst the netminers in this game. They are all quite large.
Yeah, there you saw a couple big boys. Musty running over the D-man there, and Guriev. I wanted to see this kid play. In practice, he's a big body. He's going to be really physical. There, he just took a run at Musty and knocked him over. That's the way. That's his game. That's the way he's going to play. Had a nice little stop at the blue line there, too.
Well, when we talked to John McCarthy, about tonight's game. He said this is a development camp week, but these guys are competitive. There's no way you get to this level unless you're competitive. I think they're all pretty excited to play tonight.
Yeah, and you all want it. The scouts are all up here in the suites up here watching. You want to impress them. You want to set a good impression, especially if it's your first one. So the guys, they're going to be pretty fired up. And see some of these big defensemen. You talked to John McCarthy about that, when he was talking about camp. And this is a big thing they're going to want to see. How do these guys play in this type of game where they're using that body physicalness, seeing their gaps?
Yeah, the Sharks 23 draft class, a very large draft. I don't think anybody was drafted under 6 feet, as there's a shot along the right side that's steered wide, but Team Teal pulling the trigger there was Haltonen, who the Sharks selected in the second round, early second round, just a couple of weeks ago in Nashville. Laid back into the corner. Haltonen on that far side, Finnish-born forward. Another big body. He's a load at just 18 years of age as the puck is steered down and deep by Alex Young, who played his first 3 years at Colgate, did Young. He'll transfer next year to Arizona State for his final season of collegiate hockey, as we're going to get a whistle here. It's a 24-minute running clock period, so we'll continue the clock even with the whistle. Yeah, a little bit of 5-on-5 here. You mentioned a little bit earlier about the size that they drafted, and you go back, and there's got to be that combination of skill and size in your lineup. You go back to the Vegas when they win the Cup. They got some big boys out there, that third line, Nick Roy, Carrier. Those are big physical. Barbashev, you see the way he played. To be able to have that skill combined with the size is so important in the playoffs. I think there was no question that the entire NHL took note of that Stanley Cup final. As the clock continues, we're under 22 minutes to go in period number 1. Again, period number 1 is 5-on-5 play. We welcome in our listening audience in the Sharks Audio Network and those viewing amongst the Sharks digital platforms. Nick Nolenberger, alongside Sharks alumni Scott Hannon, Ozzy Weisblatt, first rounder back in 2020 along the near side, up top to the point. And a wrist shot from well out is snared and held on by Romanov. Yeah, you talk about Weisblatt. He had a nice little battle there with the defenseman. Geez, I'm going to mess this name. Eric Polkamp. I'm learning all these new names for these kids. And here's a kid that I like too. He came out of the USJHL. He's raw. He didn't play like he was the player of the year last year. But you talk to him, and he played out in a small town, high school that wasn't taught a lot. But he's really physical, really big. And the scouts were seeing got an NHL-ready shot. He had a nice little battle there in the corner. It's a shot by Havelid that's gloved down by Romanov, who potentially could be in the American Hockey League this year. Sharks with a handful of goalies now under contract. The acquisition of Mackenzie Blackwood kind of solidifies the NHL pairing. So this will be a young kid to keep an eye on in the American Hockey League. Back underway, Cam Lund, second rounder by the Sharks last year. Here's a backhander down that left side, is gobbled up by Magnus Krona, the 6'5" netminder out of Denver, and that rush up the left wing. Will Smith with the opportunity. Yeah, what do you think of Smith? Everybody wants to know. Yeah, he's got some skill. Obviously first camp. Again, you're kind of setting your heels, getting used to things. But you look at that play he just made right there. A little tuck play. That's that skill in space, in tight areas, getting there. You saw the wide speed on the play earlier. Here we got Musty on a breakaway. Musty breakaway works in, scores right through the 5-hole. As Musty is on the board, and a good early showing for the 26th overall selection by the Sharks just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I know. You saw his first shift. He had a nice little, you talk about that physicalness, that game ready. Had a nice hit behind the net there and there. He shows some speed, gets in on a breakaway, and then just kind of rifles that puck, finds a little bit of a seam. Nice little start here for Quentin Musty. Musty selected first overall in the 21 OHL priority draft. Had a fabulous year last year in the Ontario Hockey League, Sudbury. 26 goals, 78 points. That is not easy going into your draft year. And you couple that with the size that he's got, 6'4", over 200 pounds, and really nice combination of skill and size, as you alluded to, Hanner, earlier in the broadcast. You've got to have both elements. You can't just be big, and you can't just have skill as the puck dribbles in on Romanov, and he gobbles it up and holds on. There's a couple little little plays as defensemen here in your first one. You want to be able to move that puck quickly. You got to have your head up, be able to read that second play there. Back underway here, 1-0 lead for Team White after the goal by Musty. Tapped along that right wall. Guriev will go back and retrieve the puck. Guriev likely to be in the American Hockey League. He'll graduate from the OHL. We're going to get, our first penalty And there are going to be no penalties. It'll be penalty shots. So we'll see if Team Teal can tie up the score here. And that penalty was drawn by Casper Holtman, who the Sharks selected 36th overall in this past draft. So,
yeah, here's a big guy. You talked to Mike Ricci, a couple of scouts. This kid's got a shot on him, and he shoots the puck really well. One-timer, here he is. Oh, look, he get chased.
That's a new wrinkle. Holtman, and he is going to be met from behind. So it is a penalty shot, but you've got people running. I love that element. That is something new. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Getting chased down.
So back out away, 1-0 lead for Team White. Bystedt will pick it up along the near half wall. He'll skate it behind his net. Whip near side for Cleat. And he'll carry it up the left wing side and chip it down and deep. Romanov will come out and play it to the middle of the ice. Turnover forced to the right side. Havelid winds up, put it wide. Pulled in by Bystedt near side. Trying to elude one man up high to the point. Furlong played in Halifax last year in the Quebec League. Now far side wall. Korbach up high to the point. Havelid handed off. Bystedt works up Main Street and had his pocket picked. Team White trying to keep it alive. Now it's pulled in. And Polkamp will carry it up the right wing side. 54 and Teal, and backhanded in deep. Going to come out to play the puck. Pressure on by the forechecking Danny Waite. Yeah, that's the son of Doug Waite, who's part of the brass here of the Sharks now. Special advisor for general manager Mike Greer. 16:25 remaining now in this first period. Corner board battle. Team White with a 1-0 lead after the goal by Musty. Smith tried to center. Well, Downing will track it down. He's off to UConn next year. He was actually really good buddies with Musty growing up in the Buffalo area. They've been playing with one another since they were 4 years old, Musty said to the media earlier this week.
Should have some chemistry there.
Certainly, as the puck is up high to the point, wired on target, fought off Krona. Another chance, and that's gobbled up by Magnus Krona and held on with 15:46 and ticking remaining in period number 1.
Yeah, some nice little pressure there by Team Teal, low, holding in that puck. And there's another kid, the Cash. I'm going to see this name wrong again.
Kashnikov, well done.
Learning all the young kids'
We're learning
names.
together.
Here's a guy, you talked about the KHL. Apparently he ran the power play back there, NHL style ice. He's a big body, and he made a nice little shot there coming on off the blue.
Here comes Young down the wing. Weaves on the backhand, still holding on to the puck. Up high to the point, he'll play it. Right point shot, bouncing around and finds its way in. And Team White will take a 2-0 lead, a pinball job. And we'll see who's going to get credited with the goal.
It looks like there might have been a tip in there. Eli Barnett, a nice little play there for Ingham across. Barnett, nice quick shot towards the net. Looked like there was a little bit of a tip there. So a simple play, low to high, get across to your point. Little tip there in front.
I think Sabota is going to be the one credited with the goal. He led the way on the fist bump line. Brandon Sabota, who the Sharks took in the 3rd round in this past draft. He's off to Boston University next year, so he'll be competing against Will Smith, who's headed to BC. Halton in along the near side at his pocket picked. Jacobson now trying to center for Halton. Puck still loose and is poked back up high to the point. 2-0 lead for Team White. Sabota is going to be the one giving the goal. Barnett and Ingham are the ones who pick up the assists. Back to the point it's played. Team Teal, and a shot from well out is gloved down by Krona with 14 minutes remaining in period number 1.
Yeah, there's that quick little wrister that Polkamp, he came in, you talk to the scouts, that's what he's known for, and he came across, and that's just a quick shot. So important to be able to walk that middle, get that shot towards the net. Nice little play there.
Polkamp, interesting story. Played in Cedar Rapids last year in the USHL. He was passed over. First attempt to be drafted at a fabulous year, as you alluded to earlier. And certainly another player just to add to the mix. 9 players drafted in this past draft class. Obviously, the organization has made a concerted effort over the last handful of years to just stockpile their cupboard of prospects. And this is the first real draft for Mike Greer and company. Came in so late last year. There's a shot along the left side, another good save. Kenyoni was the one who pulled the trigger coming down that left side.
Yeah, slippery little move there on the blue line, and this is what this kid has to do. You know, you look at Camp and you go through all the skill stuff. He's a high-skilled guy, and that was a nice little play, pull Camp across, but he does a nice little slippery move to beat that winger coming out. He gets the walk in, and he gets a nice shot in there from the tops of the circles in. That's what he needs to do out here.
Kenyoni, 64 points from the back end last year in the WHL at Portland, as the puck is lifted down in deep.
17 goals, so he can make some plays, and you saw that shiftiness in practice, where he's that little bit of elusiveness, that little bit of delayed deception in his game, and that's something here. He's not a big body out there, so you're facing some of those forwards. You got to really excel in that puck moving side of things, and he shows what he does right there.
I said the Sharks draft class had no one under 6 foot. Kenyoni was the exception of the draft class. He's listed at around 5'9", but when you've got that type of skill, you're a puck mover, and you've got that element to your game, it's going to be an intriguing player, and he was selected in the 4th round. The Sharks liked his skill set as we had an upended Team White member and no penalty on the play. So Klee down that right side, 55 and White into the offensive zone, up high to the point, near side Furlong, and we're going to get a media timeout at the 12-minute mark, so they will stop action. It is not the end of the period, but it will give everybody a breather here. 2-0 lead for Team White. Obviously, it's the middle of the summer. There's some rust to shake off, but what have been your early impressions?
Yeah, no, again, some nice speed. You saw a little bit of speed. Will Smith, a couple of the D-men. Again, people are getting their legs under him a little bit, but, again, they worked hard all week at this camp. They worked on their skills. You saw a couple bump plays, some of the things that you're working on, that in-tight play, low to high. Defenseman killing some plays on the blue line. A little bit of physicalness that you didn't see so much in the camp. A couple hits there, one penalty. One could be penalty down there that was missed, but we'll lay off the refs. It's their summer too.
We're going to get a goaltending change on both sides. So Dylan Ernst will enter for Team Teal. He's a tryout member at this camp, a member of the Cam Lund Blazers last year. Had a fabulous year with Cam Lund, who hosted the Memorial Cup. He'll enter for Team Teal. And for Team White, Mason Beaupit will enter the game, another WHL or Sharks draft pick last year. So Cam Lund near side. Lund last year at Northeastern, a true 18-year-old. That's not a real easy thing to do, play college hockey at 18. You often see these guys enter around 19 or 20 after all their junior eligibility is over. Sharks very excited about Lund's potential, though. High draft pick last year. Here's a chance after a turnover, and Ernst with a good reactionary save.
Svoboda there, and another nice play, a little pickpocket. I like some of the skills he showed in camp, and there he showed. He got the tip earlier, I believe, on that goal, and then there, a nice little pickpocket, nice chance on net.
So Team White so far with the offensive pressure, they've got a 2-0 lead here. Lund along the right side. He worked 21 last year in camp. They've changed his number to 46. Lawback, the junior Shark alum, San Jose native out there on the ice for Team Teal, wearing 80 in teal. He'll be heading to college hockey next year. He'll play at Penn State. Here comes Spitzerov. Works his way along the backhand, couldn't pull the trigger, and then toe pick behind the net. Loose puck gobbled up along the near side. Cooley, free agent signing out of Finland. Huge defenseman, 6'6", comes down the wall. Now steered towards the net, wide of Ernst, the netminder, and it's back to center. 2-0 lead for Team White, nearing 10 minutes to go in period number 1, a 24-minute period. Ward battle near side.
Yeah, you talk about Pooley, a big guy, 6'6", and again, you talk to the scouts there. A lot of the teams wanted him. He's sort of a late bloomer, not really passed over, a little bit older there. And the Sharks, a smart job here picking him up. Big guy's hard to find. He moves his feet pretty well, and we'll see what he can do out here.
I think Pooley wins the Tannis Guy in Camp award. They don't get much sun over in Finland, so I don't know where he's been, but it's the middle of the summer, and you expect guys to get a little sun this time
They
of
get
year.
the longer days out there.
That's true.
Maybe more sun, more chance to suntan. That's what we're going
exactly
with.
Right. Musty open up the scoring, 13 in White along that right side of pull up. Musty will skate it to center. Weaves his way into the attacking zone. Hands off for Bystedt. Now Furlong laid into the corner. Bystedt expected to go back to Sweden. There was a discussion and a decision to be made in the front office for the Sharks, electing to send him back to Sweden. At least all indications are pointing to that, instead of having him play this year in North America, either with the Sharks or the Barracuda. Just signed his 3-year entry-level contract earlier this offseason. Pull camp from well out. That's blocked before it got to Bopit, the netminder. Now Team White controls behind their net. 8:40 remaining in the first period. 2-0 lead for Team White.
Yeah, a little more jump here outside so far for Team White. You know, they're just controlling, getting the better opportunities just off the plays, jumping on pucks. You saw Musty weave his way through the neutral zone and make a nice play in there. Nice for the big guy.
Here comes Team White down the left side. Sabotu has that second goal, hands off Spitzerov. Backhander turned aside by Ernst. Spitzerov will head back to Vermont next year. It'll be his junior season as the puck is pivoted into the corner. Eli Barnett will join him next season at Vermont. As here comes Will Smith, number 2 in teal down the left wing. Puck poked off his blade. It carried him to Muldowney, who was working up the middle of the ice, and he couldn't get the shot off. And now Team White will skate it a Bice from right to left. Outlet feed, pulled in by Spitzerov, rolling puck angled wide. Ball back far side. He's run into. Puck comes free. Held in by Team White on that right point. 7:37 remaining in the first period. Lund, left wing side. Team Teal over the line. Team Teal moving from left to right on your radio dials. The puck rolls into the corner and now is rimmed around near side for Team White. Weisblatt eludes Guriev coming down the pipe and rolls it back into the offensive zone.
Weisblatt had to have his head up there, and that's the thing that Guriev, you know, he's known for. And you talk about his days playing the O, and you heard about him suspended a few times, a little bit over aggressive at times. Weisblatt luckily got out of the way of that one as he held up.
Jacobson down that left wing side. He's run into. Puck scooped up by Team White. 2-0 lead for Team White. We're under 7 to go here at period number 1. We'll shift to 4-on-4 for the second period after an intermission. Weisblatt down the left wing side. Weisblatt's been last year in the American League. Was in and out of the lineup early and found a regular role near the end of the year, which was certainly an encouraging sight. Had a hat trick in a game down in San Diego. 6:31 remaining now in the first. Furlong right side. Havelid into the corner. Musty along the wall now, poked to the point. Furlong winds up, pulls it back in down the left side, trying to pick the top short side corner. And Dylan Ernst able to shrug that aside. Now Cardwell, he'll pull up, tried to center into the skates of Haltonen. And he'll lift it back through the neutral zone. Furlong will pull it in his own end for Team White. Head up, spots Cardwell down the left side. Team Teal making a change. Cardwell button hooks away from pressure, lays it into the corner with 5:52 remaining now in period number 1. It's Team White 2 and Team Teal nothing.
Yeah, great shift there by Furlong. I liked a lot of that things that him as a defenseman, him and Havelid did out there. And, you know, he made a nice play at the blue line there, a little hesitation, created space for himself and able to get the shot off. And then on the back, on the breakout, he was able to look, scan in behind him, make a great outlet pass to break Team White on the offense.
Well, Downey, his shot blocked for Team Teal. Getting in the shooting lane was Engham. Now a shot from that left side is wide. Back up high to the point for Holtz. Stephen Holtz out of the University of Michigan, a tryout player. He had a real scary situation last year during the season with the Wolverines. Nearly died from a medical emergency. He was put into an induced coma. Because here's a chance now for Team Teal. It's rolled just wide.
A quick shot there and deflection just trickled past there. The goalie had to be on top of that. I think he got a piece of that on that far post.
Guriev back down the right side. Gets around Young. Tried to center in front. Young at the end of a long shift there as Guriev kind of just walked around him. And Young will get off the ice. Team White moving from right to left. Will Smith had it on his stick for a moment. Now he's going to make a change. Weisblatt works his way down the left wing for Team White. Weisblatt, a late addition. He was joking that he got the call up before tonight's game. He was not expected to play, but an injury, they needed another body. And Weisblatt thrust into action.
And he's buzzing out here, throwing a little, I guess, a couple spinoramas there.
Here's a chance for Weisblatt. What a save by Ernst, point blank.
Wow, that was a great slide across, a great push there by the goaltender across. Linesman all alone in front. A great pass there. I'm not sure who was that from behind. I think it was Musty. Who was that over there? Great pass, great feed, and a great save. All.
Hey,
Is that Klee? Maybe Klee, I think, was able to pass that from in behind the net.
Hey, you mentioned Weisbach just moments before. You know, his feet are moving, certainly, and he's generated a couple of chances just off that feverish pace in which he plays with, and that's one of the endearing qualities that made him a player the Sharks coveted during that COVID 2020 draft, where he was taken 31st overall.
Yeah, he's kind of a buzzsaw, energy guy. He comes out there, he's physical, he's got some finish to his game, but I think they love him. They love his leadership qualities. He's a great guy in the locker room and everything, and you can see that out here in his first couple shifts.
Halton now in the neutral zone. Cooley will take it away from him. A couple of Finns battling. 3:04 remaining now in period number 1. Live from Tech CU Arena, Nick Nolenberger alongside Scott Hannon. Bystedt using that big frame, bodies bouncing off him, spots Musty against the grain in a great defensive play. Cardwell with an open 4x6, and that hit off the shin guard of a member of Team Teal there.
I think Cagnoni, he even had his back. It might have hit the back of his
leg.
I
think you're exactly right.
What a play. Also, Bystedt using that big body, just kind of bounced off him in the neutral zone, created a little quick 3-on-1, little pass over. Musty tries to feed it backside. It hits off a stick, and there, wide open net. Little lucky play there for Team Teal to get that block.
Couple good chances for Team White in the last few minutes. Team Teal down 2-0 here. Here comes Smith for Team Teal, trying to get under Havelid. Now near side for Holtz, and we're going to get an offside here. Player obviously you're keeping an eye on in this game is a guy like Will Smith. He's going to go to Boston College next year, and that's going to be a big year for him to continue to develop his body.
Yeah, for sure. You talk about developing body, getting that, NHL ready. You see obviously the skill. We talked about the quick in tight plays there off the face-off. You see a little bit of a change of pace there coming across the red line. Havelid, a great stick. He was able to get it. He got the body there. If he was able to get the puck in behind, I think he would have had a better chance. But you love that little bit of a deception, the skill, and obviously you see the vision in his game.
1:38 remaining in period number 1 as Smith will stick handle his way up ice. Lost control. Recovers. Hands off for Jake Fisher. Fisher will scale it in deep. The Team White back to retrieve the puck. Eli Barnett pinched up along that far side wall. We mentioned Barnett headed to Vermont next year. He'll play for Jay Woodcroft's brother, the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. His brother is the bench boss of the University of Vermont. As there's a shot from well out, is gloved down by Bo Pitt, and we'll get a whistle. 1:05 remaining in period number 1.
Yeah, I love Jay Woodcroft. I had him here as an assistant coach. To talk about, as assistant coach here under Todd McClellan, he brought a great energy to the game, and afterwards working. It was so much fun here coming back from my last few years playing with guys like that, the skill work that they put in, the energy that those coaches brought to after practice and the skill development. It was a fun last few years.
Here comes Weisblatt down the left side. Defended by Fisher. Puck squibs free. We're under a minute to go now here in period number 1. We're going to have an intermission 15 minutes long, and then we'll resume this game as it's rolled in on Bo Pitt. Running clock, so that may just do it for this first. Bo Pitt played last year. He was traded to Winnipeg, the Winnipeg Ice. The Winnipeg Ice are moving this year. They're going to move to Wenatchee, Washington. So another team on the west coast of the WHL, and Winnipeg no longer a franchise. So kind of an interesting move. Bo Pitt likely to join that franchise in Wenatchee with the newest member of the WHL, the Wenatchee Wild.
Where's Wenatchee? Where is that?
I believe it's in the state of Washington. It's real remote. They were in the North American Hockey League a handful of years ago as the Horned Sounds for period number 1. The last couple of years in the BCHL. Yeah. Actually, a former Shark prospect, Jasper Weatherby, was playing for that franchise. And now they're going to join the WHL. So
I'll be Googling that on the way home, finding out where exactly it is. I grew up, I played in the WHL, played in Kelowna, Spokane Chiefs, Portland Winterhawks. So it's nice to see some alumni. Interesting. I'll be looking that up. Wenatchee, I'm from Vancouver, so, I passed by through there.
I haven't been, but I've heard it's just a beautiful place. You've got to go windy roads. It's kind of remote to get there, but they've got a great fan base. So just kind of an interesting note. We'll see if Bo Pitt ends up landing in Wenatchee this upcoming year. 2-0 lead for Team White. Scott Hand, before we let you go, give us your first period assessment.
I thought Team White obviously had some good push there. Team Teal, a little bit, it's some turnovers there in their own zone. But again, I like the energy that brings Musty. I thought he had a great first period. Getting to land in the body in that first shift. He had that weave right through the middle, and then he comes in, he makes a nice play. They almost got that second goal. Will Smith, there's the speed, the deception in his game. I like that. A couple of the defensemen, a slippery move there by Caglioni. I like Havelid. I thought that Forsling did a really good job. Furlong. I say Forsling. That's the NHLer in Forsling. I mismatched my names. Furlong. He made a really good play there up there on the blue line. A little couple breakouts. You see him scan the ice. Things that I look for.
Musty with the first goal. Second goal for Team White came off the stick of Brandon Sabota. So that is the goal scorers after a period. Scott Hannon, we can't thank you enough for joining us. We appreciate the insight, kind of coming in to relief, pinch hitting for us, if you will. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the game. I know you'll probably make your way down and talk to the brass and whatnot. So thank you very much for the insight. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Sharks alumni Scott Hannon, kind enough to join us for the first period. We're going to give him the rest of the night off, and we'll be joined here by some special guests coming up during our intermission. We're 2-0 lead for Team White. We'll be back in a moment. This is the 2023 Sharks Prospects Scrimmage live from TechCU Arena.
Unlock an easier way to schedule your team of all-star employees. No spreadsheets, no hassle when team members want to swap shifts, and fast substitutions when staff call out sick. With Deputy, it's simple and lightning fast to create and share employee schedules. It's how over 250,000 workplaces are making life easier. From restaurants to retailers, to hotels and healthcare clinics. Ready to up your scheduling game? Go to deputy.com/sharks.
Phones, laptops, and tablets aren't just devices. They're the keys to connecting to your health. At Kaiser Permanente, you can connect faster with video visits and our easy-to-use app. Track your health with access to most lab results and health records. You can even make appointments, email doctors, and fill most prescriptions. Kaiser Permanente. Tomorrow's healthcare today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
Appointments as available and appropriate. Features available from Kaiser Permanente facilities.
The Hilton San Jose is the preferred hotel of the San Jose Sharks and SAP Center in San Jose. Experience something new. Close to home or from across the world, the Hilton San Jose is there for you with memorable offers and experiences. Enjoy the brand new guest rooms with luxurious Waldorf Astoria beds and upgraded amenities. We're committed to creating a safe and relaxing experience, including delivering an even cleaner stay from check-in to check-out. Visit sanjose.hilton.com now to make your reservation. We are Hilton. We are hospitality.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
We welcome you back inside TechCU Arena. 2-0 lead for Team White over Team Teal after a period of play. We'll have two more periods to come. One will be 12 minutes, both will be 12. One will be 4-on-4, one will be 3-on-3, and then we will have a shootout. We're very pleased to be joined by Aaron Scholes, a member of the Fin Factor. And if you're not familiar, you should be if you're a Sharks fan, first and foremost. But if you're not familiar, Aaron does a great job, videos, podcasts, and providing another angle for San Jose Sharks coverage. But I'm going to let you kind of tell fans who are not familiar with what you guys are all about. Tell us about the Fin Factor.
Yeah, sure. We've been around now. This is our 6th season, and we are a YouTube show. We are also on podcasts, so wherever you find your podcasts, including Spotify. And I think Spotify actually includes video now. So this is going into our 6th season, and we do a weekly recap of the Sharks. We are both very busy family guys, so we don't have a lot of time to do it every game. But we do a weekly breakdown of the week. We talk about things that go on around the league, mainly about the Sharks. And we also do other episodes, like spotlight episodes, where we kind of highlight, certain things that the Sharks are doing, like new things at the arena, whatever. And we also do interviews of players. So we had Scott Hannon, who's doing your broadcast today. He's been on our show. Several other alumni, and hopefully we'll get some more players and more alumni on the show this year.
Well, so how did this all come to be? Obviously, you guys are Sharks fans. I don't think you start your own podcast, your own YouTube video series if you aren't big fans. So Tell us how this all came to be.
Sure. Paul Sinceri, who's my other co-host, he's not here today. Him and I have been friends since kindergarten, and we've been avid Sharks fans our entire lives. And we've been to so many games, and we said, hey, we should start a podcast on the Sharks because we go back and forth on emails and texts and everything, talking about the Sharks all the time. Let's do it. And so I got my brother involved, who is our super producer, Jason, back here, and he goes, no, we're not doing podcasts. The future is video. We're going on YouTube. And Paul and I said, we have no idea how to do that. So you are going to be our producer. You're going to do all that, make us look good, which he absolutely does. He kills it every time, and that is the history of the Fin Factor.
So I'm going to ask you, as a fan, for a little bit of a prognostication for the upcoming year. Sharks are going through a transitional period, that is clear. But still, you bring an influx of young talent. You've got a lot of exciting things. So what are your thoughts about the upcoming year? We've got a couple of months till the season starts, but what are your feelings going into next year?
I'm an optimist. We are forever an optimist on the show. So we like to see the progress of what the young guys are going to do. We like to see who's going to make the roster on opening night and who could possibly get called up during the year. Some of the trades that could happen. You know, Carlson's a big one that's been out there for a while. And see who the assets that come back and the new players and the new prospects. And like to us, the Sharks are entertainment. And last year, I feel like the Sharks had one of their worst records, yet they were more entertaining than they were the last 3 seasons. So, yes, the results aren't there, but it's still a fun time to go, and it's still great to go. And we are big fans, obviously, of the Sharks. So we like to do more of a positive spin on things. And another reason we keep it a weekly show, because there's so many ups and downs throughout the season that a weekly show kind of gives you a little more even keel than going up one day and then down 2 days later.
We're talking to Aaron Scholl. He is one of 2 of the band that makes up the Fin Factor, providing, as you alluded to, weekly coverage of the San Jose Sharks, interviews, great insight, and it comes from the perspective, I would say, of the fan. So
absolutely.
For fans of the Sharks, I think it's a great resource. It's another avenue to digest Sharks content. We appreciate you hopping on. Again, I'm going to throw you on the spot a little bit. Anything planned outside of what you guys have already done for the upcoming year?
Coming up, we're going to be covering, obviously, any trades that are going to happen. We're going to be on probably that night, any big trades. Again, the Carlson one. Going into the season, I'm hoping we're working we don't have anything set yet, but we're working with the Sharks to do some more events. We were at the draft party, and we did a live there for the first time in the arena, which was a lot of fun. And we do a lot of live shows, so we have a very good group of fans that are kind of the regulars that are in there in the chat room, and you can ask us questions and talk to us, so we'll be around.
I know you can find the Fin Factor by simply Googling the Fin Factor. I can attest. I did that a couple of times a day. Tell fans where they can find you if they want to follow you for maybe some of your individual stuff.
Sure. On Twitter, that's the Fin Factor. On Spotify, type in the Fin Factor. YouTube, the Fin Factor. Instagram's the only funny one. The Fin Factor was taken, so we are Fin Factor on Instagram. But you can find us anywhere, and mainly on YouTube or any kind of Spotify or podcast available, and you will find us.
Well, you may have to get on the thread, too. Everybody's talking about that as well today. We appreciate the time, Aaron. Great to meet you. The first time we've actually met, so we appreciate you hopping on. Appreciate your content and loyalty to the organization.
Great.
Enjoy the rest of the game, and go Sharks.
Go Sharks. Thanks for having us.
We'll come back in a moment. That was Aaron Scholl of the Fin Factor. We'll continue intermission coverage from Tech CU Arena in a moment. This is the 2023 Sharks Prospects Scrimmage.
Join us for Los Tiburones, presented by Milagro Tequila on October 14th against the Colorado Avalanche. To commemorate the celebration of Hispanic heritage, every fan in attendance will receive a Sharks-themed luchador goalie mask designed by local artist Luis Guardado. Don't miss out on an unforgettable night of Sharks hockey, unity, and cultural celebration with us by securing your tickets at sjsharks.com/tickets. That's sjsharks.com/tickets today.
The Hilton San Jose is the preferred hotel of the San Jose Sharks and SAP Center in San Jose. Experience something new. Close to home or from across the world, the Hilton San Jose is there for you with memorable offers and experiences. Enjoy the brand new guest rooms with luxurious Waldorf Astoria beds and upgraded amenities. We're committed to creating a safe and relaxing experience, including delivering an even cleaner stay from check-in to check-out. Visit sanjose.hilton.com now to make your reservation. We are Hilton. We are hospitality.
Get in the festive spirit and give the gift of Sharks hockey this holiday season. Be at the Tank on December 21st as the San Jose Sharks take on the Arizona Coyotes. Every fan in attendance will receive a special edition holiday sweater jersey. Whether you want to be the best dressed at your holiday party, need a last-minute gift idea, or want to be featured on the big screen at the game, Come celebrate with us this year and secure your tickets at sjsharks.com/tickets today.
Phones, laptops, and tablets aren't just devices. They're the keys to connecting to your health. At Kaiser Permanente, you can connect faster with video visits and our easy-to-use app. Track your health with access to most lab results and health records. You can even make appointments, email doctors, and fill most prescriptions. Kaiser Permanente. Tomorrow's healthcare today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
Appointments as available and appropriate. Features available from Kaiser Permanente facilities.
Welcome back inside Tech CU Arena. It's a 2023 Sharks Prospects Scrimmage as we close out development camp. 2-0 lead for Team White after a period of play. 2 more periods to go. We are pleased to be joined by AJ Strong, one of a couple different members of Teal Town USA. AJ has been a great supporter of the Sharks and the Barracuda for many, many years, so we appreciate him hopping on. I asked the same question to Aaron, and fans who are fans of the Sharks should certainly be familiar with your guys' content, but I want you to provide the context. What are you guys all about? Tell fans what you guys provide.
We've always tried to stick by the mantra of for the fan, by the fan type of a thing, and give a little bit of a take on what we see on the ice, but also the experience of coming to games and try to share that. Make the people that are outside of the area maybe feel a little more that they're in the know, that they might not be able to smell the ice, but they're getting some stuff that, okay, I wouldn't see that somewhere else. So we try to do that and go live after every single Sharks game to give another take. Obviously, we don't want to step on Brody's toes, but we do our thing, and then a weekly wrap-up and other smatterings of things here and there when you're nice enough to join us and do our kind of monthly recap for the Barracuda and what's going on there. That's basically what we try to do, and, it's been an interesting ride just because when we started doing this, there was nobody. And now, as you can see, I mean, you were talking to Aaron earlier. I know there's at least 4 or 5 other casts that talk about the Sharks, so I think it's great. 8 years ago, the whole reason why we started is we were disappointed in the lack of talk about the Sharks that we get on our local sports radio. So we're just happy when we got 100 subscribers, we thought we'd won the lottery. So, we just think this is great.
Tell fans where they can find you guys. Teal Town USA, aside from Googling you, I'm sure you're on all the social platforms. Tell us where fans can find you.
Brand new on Threads.
Yes. Just ask Aaron if he was going to be on Thread.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're on Threads, but you can find the majority of our stuff. It's Instagram, it's YouTube, it's Twitter. That's our bread and butter. That's where you're going to find the meat of everything. Just Twitter and YouTube. We're not going to ask you to follow anywhere else. If you want to, that's great. But if you want to get the content that we drive the most, that's where you're going to find it.
AJ Strong, a member of Teal Town USA, providing great content, not just on the Sharks, as we mentioned, but on the Barracuda as well. You guys do a great job of covering the prospects and who is in the pipeline. We're a couple months away from the season. It's great to have hockey in July, of course, kind of scratch our itch. But anything planned for the upcoming season that you guys have not done so far to this point?
Well, we have a new member to the group named Jules. She is a diehard, prospect girl. She dives in deep. We have our buddy Mark, who's on the East Coast, but he's like our BU connection. So he's been following that for such a long time. He's a great contact for that. And then, of course, Ian and Kevin. Kevin's season ticket holder. He's here all the time for CUDA games. And Ian just lives and dies for hockey. So those guys, they're going to be doing a lot more Barracuda-focused stuff this year. Hopefully you'll be able to join when you can. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to some Barracuda players this season. But they just seemed like super hyped. They saw the draft, and they were like, Smith, oh my God, Musty, yes. And they looked at it, and they were just like, this is going to be such a fun team to talk about this season, and it's best when the new barn.
Okay, one more quick one for you. I know you like to collect jerseys. What is the most recent jersey that you've collected Sharks themed?
One that I bought or one that I made?
Whatever. Either way.
Oh, God, what was my last one? Had to have, when they did the equipment sale a couple of weeks ago, a Hockey Fights Cancer jersey.
Awesome.
That's
Love it.
the one I
AJ
wanted.
Strong, member of Teal Town USA. We appreciate the time. As always, thank you for the coverage, support of the organization. And again, fans, you're a fan of the Sharks, you've got to follow AJ and all the things that they're doing with Tealtown USA. Great work. Great graphics team. You guys have fabulous graphics, very professional. I know Eric does a great job doing all that stuff. So check it out. AJ, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Hey, thanks for having me.
That was AJ Strong. We'll continue here with period number 2 and be joined in just a moment by Sharks radio voice Dan Rusnowski. We'll come back in a sec. It's the 2023 Sharks Prospects Scrimmage from Tech CU Arena.
Get in the festive spirit and give the gift of Sharks hockey this holiday season. Be at the Tank on December 21st as the San Jose Sharks take on the Arizona Coyotes. Every fan in attendance will receive a special edition holiday sweater jersey. Whether you want to be the best dressed at your holiday party, need a last-minute gift idea, or want to be featured on the big screen at the game, come celebrate with us this year and secure your tickets at sjsharks.com/tickets today.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Welcome back inside Tech CU Arena. We pick it up in live action in period number 2. Nick Nolenberger joined alongside by longtime Sharks radio voice Dan Rusnowski. Up and over the line is Will Smith. He fumbled the puck. It's controlled by Team White, and they'll skate it up ice from right to left. Musty weaving through center. He took a little hook. He's going to draw a penalty here. And we got our first penalty of the hockey game, an angle shot, and the save is made. Danny, how we doing?
Fantastic. This is the time of the year we get together.
Yes.
I really enjoy this, you know, Nick, taking a look at the prospects, getting the fans into this beautiful Tech CU Arena to sample that product, but also to sample what the future of the San Jose Sharks is. And you know what? We've seen some good things. Here's Musty on a breakaway.
Musty works it off the pipe and in.
I'm telling you what, this guy's got a nose for the net. He scored the first goal. It was a savable puck by Romanov, the goaltender, in the first period, but right there, no chance whatsoever. Very unique way to deal with penalties, where they set up the player that has the penalty shot at the red line, and they allow everybody to chase him from the blue line. I like that.
Yeah, I got the memo they were going to do penalty shots as opposed to penalties. Didn't get the memo they were going to have the entire team chasing them from behind, but it is a nice little extra wrinkle. So 3-0 lead. Musty's got a pair of goals. As here comes Team Teal, coming up the right wing side, and it's pulled in. And skated up that right side by Alex Young. Young takes a check, fending off a stick on the rear. Steers back up towards the point, just inside the blue line. And now near side throw back in front. Good save by Romanov, point blank. And now it's controlled by Team White. Dan, we're not going to do pure play-by-play because we're going to conversate a little bit. We've got lots of new prospects, an exciting time, obviously, for the organization. 9 new players selected in the 23 draft. 2 first-rounders, including Musty, as we've called his name a couple of times. Here's a shot by Spitzerov. What have been your impressions of this draft class, just in your small sample size, talking to them and seeing them on the ice?
Well, they're big, first of all. They're a lot bigger. There's more size in the Sharks organization, including, you know, guys like Burrows, who came in as a defenseman signee. But that's one thing that I noticed, size and what we call competitive skill. What Scott Fitzgerald told me about director of player personnel is that was what he's looking for. He wants players to be very determined to win, and to do that in the toughest moments of the game. And I think that's a great quality to have in the NHL, especially when you got that 82-game schedule, 4 games in 6 nights, something like that, where the body doesn't feel so good, but you got to go out there and perform. And that's exactly what these guys have to do, and where the Sharks need to go.
Absolutely. Exciting times for the organization. They're blending in more depth from a prospect standpoint. Should set up for a real exciting next couple of years for these players. Many of them are still a couple of years away. Far right side, Weisblatt, first rounder from 2020, will skate it back to center.
So far, I've liked the defense on Team White quite a bit. They're looking like they're playing quite well together. This kid, Jake Furlong, is somebody to watch. He had a great season last year in the Quebec Major Junior League, and he looks pretty sharp out here right now.
Furlong near side. He'll crisscross with Havelid, his defensive partner, and it's laid into the corner. Now into slot and a kick saved by Romanov and a beauty, and he pulls it in and holds on with 8:20 and ticking remaining in period number 2.
Well, we've seen a couple of nice setups. That was a pretty nifty play right to the slot, and a really good shot toward the net just a moment ago by Jack Horbach, who is a tryout guy, and he's somebody that's really trying to get whatever chance he can to show the organization what he can do.
Blend of a handful of tryout guys here at camp, and an opportunity to play in front of NHL scouts and front office members. Certainly guys want to make an impression. Even the drafted guys want to make a good impression here as the puck is carried in, way off the pipe. And that puck caroms up and out of play. And we'll get a whistle here, 7:40 and ticking. That was Danny Waite, Doug's son.
Hey, if you get an opportunity to go to a development camp and your dad's part of the organization, that's a good thing. And he looks pretty good. I think he's a solid prospect that we're taking a look at here in San Jose. We'll see how he does.
Danny started his collegiate career at Boston College. He's now at Colorado College. Saw it a couple years ago as the puck's going to be lifted off the scoreboard, and that'll halt action. Saw Pete DeBoer's kid in development camp a handful of years ago. Steve Spott, I think, had a kid in development camp.
Well, sure. Steve's son went to Northeastern, playing with Cam Lund. You know, so these guys start to transfer around. In fact, I think Tyler Spott's transferring to Sacred Heart this year to play his last year of college hockey. We're seeing a lot more of that. You know, Young, who's on this team, is going from Colgate to your alma mater, Arizona State University, so he's going to help that team out.
Puck's going to be cleared all the way back into the end of Team Teal. Now, the NIL, it has not been restricted simply to football and basketball. You see it now in college hockey as well, where guys kind of want maybe a fresh start, a new opportunity. And it's hard to blame him finishing his college career in Arizona, where they've got a brand new arena. Of course, that's where the Coyotes play as well, Mullet Arena.
It's a great place to call the game, actually.
Similar to this, right? You're pretty close to the ice.
Colors are a little different there.
Yeah,
you got the Sun Devil colors all over the place. But I think that Tech CU Arena, as far as American Hockey League facilities, is right at the top. End of the first little segment. 4-on-4, kind of a unique method. They're going to switch goalies, and what they're also going to do is go to 3-on-3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, final period will be 3-on-3. You don't see 4-on-4 as much. Of course, that used to be the overtime format. Then they went to 3-on-3. I love 3-on-3. It's just so open, so many chances, but you just don't see 4-on-4 very often nowadays because of that.
No, that's right.
So Ernst will enter, as will Beaupit.
Yeah, there's still 4-on-4 here for another 5 minutes or 6 minutes, and then 3-on-3. We got Mason Beaupit in the nets. He played for the Winnipeg Ice last year, and that franchise has, of course, been transferred over to Wenatchee in the state of Washington.
I was just talking to Scott Hannon about that. He said he had played in the WHO. I have no idea where Wenatchee is. So he said, first thing I do when I get home, I'm going to Google it. Here comes Holtz down the wing, and a shot from the slot is just wide off the stick of Yevgeny Kashnikov. Turnover, Smith scores! Will Smith takes the puck away and deposits it just past Beaupit inside that right post.
So both Sharks first-round draft picks from just a couple of weeks ago have scored beautiful goals. Musty has 2, one of them, of course, on the penalty shot, but that was a beautiful steal by Smith. And how about no hesitation? Cradles the puck, has total control, and snaps it to the stick side. Not much space for him to hit, but he put the puck right there. That was a great display of skill.
No question about it. Smith has had a couple of opportunities in this game, and seems like it's just kind of bounced off of his stick, but a good effort play. Now we're going to have the puck stymied at the offensive blue. What do you think of Smith's American flag skates? Of course, was at the U.S. National Program at 4th of July just the other day. He's got these USA skates that he wore last year at the program. Something different. You don't see that every day.
No, you don't. But, you know, you like to see a little personality. And also you like to see pride in your country, too.
No question about it. 4:30 remaining in the second period. Playing 4-on-4. And then we'll play another 12 minutes, and we'll move to 3-on-3. Holton down that right wing. Nifty move. Got around one. Could not pull the trigger. Good recovery there by Jake Furlong.
See what I mean?
Furlong
makes good decisions.
Just 19 years of age, will likely go back to the Quebec League next year, but I think they're very excited about his potential.
Yeah, they should be excited about Havelid, too. He looks pretty solid as his D partner. Right-handed shooting defenseman and somebody that is going to be around for a while.
You always mention
his
the
dad.
right-handed shot. Tell fans who are not quite understanding of the value of a right-handed shot.
Well, most people are right-handed, right, Nick? Are you right-handed?
Yeah, I am.
And I'm right-handed. Do you shoot right or left?
I shoot right.
And I shoot right, and that's why we're on the radio.
That's right.
Because you have to remember, the top hand is what controls the stick. And we're Americans, and most Americans are taught to try to do everything right-handed. But most people in the hockey world just say, hold the stick the way it's comfortable for you. The top hand controls the stick, and of course, that's the left-handed shot. So your right hand controlling the top of the stick. So that's why most people in the NHL are left shots. And so when you have a right-handed shooting guy at this level of pro hockey, they're valuable because there aren't quite as many of them as you might like.
Yeah, the equivalent would be a left-handed pitcher. There's just not as many left-handed pitchers, just like there's not as many right shots.
Well, especially if they have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
That is true. That is true. 2:56 remaining now in the second period. 3-1 lead now for Team White, as Will Smith got Team Teal on the board. Ozzy Weisblatt along that right side has weight draped all over him. Taken away by Team Teal. Here comes Thiesing down that right side. Good recovery by Landon, the defenseman. And now Team White regrouping in its own end. So Weisblatt.
Landin, one of a couple of defensemen that I think the Sharks are really excited about from the draft. That Luca Cagnoni, too. These are guys that are a little bit wide-eyed right now. First training camp of any kind at the pro level. And they're not the biggest of guys either, so they're dealing with bigger men. And they have to handle that, but they both have the ability to make good decisions with the puck, and we've seen some of that.
Havelid up that far right side. Running 2 to go now. As here comes Furlong down that left flank. Drops it for Cardwell. Tried to get it to Havelid outside of his reach. And now Kashnikov for Smith. Could be a partial break. Works his way in, shoots, and it's gobbled up by the netminder Beaupit.
How about the way that Will Smith was skating to his left and got that puck to his forehand and let a shot go? Normally in that angle, you're going to look for a guy to go to the backhand, which I love, but Will Smith has the ability to turn that at a pretty decent rate of speed and get a really good shot on goal. Again, a nice display of skill.
We saw it. I've seen it a lot more lately where you see young players, they work on that without skates on, where they're trying to shoot the puck down at their feet. And they're able to pull the trigger, and that was kind of an example of that by Will Smith. So 1 minute remaining now in period number 2. 3-1 lead for Team White. Cam Lund at a Karam Toom. Fisher back skating towards the blue. Held in by Lund. Working his way in the high slot. 46 in Teal. Pressure by Engholm. Pulled in by Team Teal on that left side. Holtonen thrown in front, and it caroms its way to the near side wall. Foot race. Bystedt will get to it.
Now a good little chase for the puck. Holtonen was drafted in the second round by the Sharks, and there were a lot of people there were surprised that he was still there. And that was a nice little play he just made a moment ago.
24 seconds remaining in period number 2. We're joined by the great voice of the San Jose Sharks, the Hall of Famer Dan Rusanowski, kind enough to join us here, and he's switching roles a little bit, allowing me to do the play-by-play. And he's providing a little bit of extra color. Spitzerov had it and lost it. We're down to 7 seconds remaining now in period number 2.
Drew's in Saskatoon, so he's not available.
The Paris of the Prairies, as you two often say, as the horn will sound, and that'll expire period number 2. Before I let you go, Ruzy, and thank you for the time. First of all, congratulations on your induction in the Hockey Hall of Fame. It was only a matter of time. What an accomplishment. Tell us about it, what that means, and kind of what's to come, because I know you've got a big event coming up in November.
Yeah, November 13th is the induction date, and it's not part of the Hockey Hall of Fame induction of players and managers. It's a luncheon that's separate. So the Elmer Ferguson Award is going to be presented to Mark Mulvoy. You may have seen many of his books and writings in Sports Illustrated for a lot of years. And he's going to be receiving that award at the luncheon, and I'll be getting the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award, which is named for the Toronto Maple Leafs great broadcaster who basically invented the way to broadcast the game on the air back in the 1920s, and he actually lasted all the way to 1972 when he called that great series between Team Canada and Russia. And so it is a tremendous privilege. I mean, I look at the names of the people and I go, what the heck am I doing here? Because these are all the guys that were so instrumental in my becoming a broadcaster, and I was very fortunate to actually get to know a lot of them. Jim Robson from Vancouver and Sam Rosen in New York, who's still working, and you know, so many other guys, Fred Cusick and Bob Wilson in Boston, and so many others. It's a real honor. It's a privilege, and it means the world to me and to my family, but also to the Sharks organization.
Well, Rosie, we again congratulate you. This is just the start of what's going to be a huge celebration as the puck carried down that right wing. And the save is made. We're going to bring Ted Ramey on here in just a moment, who's a big member of the Sharks Audio Network. Havelid collided into. So we thank Rosie again for the time. Musty looking for the hat trick now.
Hope he gets it.
I hope he does too. Is Havelid now?
How about that kid? He was the first pick overall in the OHL draft. I don't know if people realize how big that is. Number one, he's from Buffalo. He's an American kid. But number two, you got names like Lindros, Tavares, Stamkos, and now Musty that's been honored with that pick. And so I think that everybody thinks very highly of his future, and we've seen some of it today.
Absolutely. 11 minutes remaining now in period number 3. Again, we'd like to thank Dan Rusanowski for joining us. Ted Ramey's going to hop on here in just a moment. 10:50 remaining here in the third period. We'd like to thank everybody who's joined us so far. Scott Hanna, Dan Rusanowski, of course, Aaron Scholl, AJ Strong. And we now welcome on the great Ted Ramey, who helps operate the Sharks Audio Network, kind of tag teams the audio network along with Dan Rusanowski. How's it going, Ted?
Noli, I'm good, man. How are you doing? The fastest 2 periods of hockey I've ever seen.
This is incredible. The running clock. As there's a beautiful spinorama move by Kenyoni and an even better save by Krona. That does not look like a defenseman making a move like that.
I got to bring this up, Noli, because you and I have watched the influence that social media has had on sports, and the skill level that we're seeing out here from these players is phenomenal. I think that the way that these kids growing up have seen the moves and the plays and the drills that everyone else is doing, I think just compared to even a couple of years ago, what we're seeing on the ice tonight, it's fantastic. They're just operating at such a high level. It's still raw overall, but just looking at the handling skills, the dangles we've seen, it just a step forward over and over.
Beautiful save by Romanoff as he kicks the right pad out. He's kind of settled into this game. 9:36 remaining now in the third period. Such a strong emphasis now on skill development. That's why you've got so many skilled coaches working on the small little minute details that can allow for a player to kind of take their game to the next level. As here's a short side chance that finds its way in. Beautiful shot by Cam Thiesing. Tryout player, spent the last couple of years at Ohio State with the Buckeyes. So Team Teal has cut the lead down to 1. You talk about skill, and you bring in a guy in the organization like Patrick Marleau, who's been on the ice the last handful of days, and you only can imagine that it's going to play a huge impact on these young players.
Oh, I just imagine all those guys walking onto the ice at the start of a practice and seeing one of the all-time greats, the guy who's played more NHL games than anyone else. I mean, that just has an impact. It's an inspiration. I'm sure these guys want to go out there and impress him, and you just watch it over and over. All these kids see this guy and they think to themselves, that's what I want to be. I want that longevity. I want those numbers. I want those credentials. And sometimes to see it there in the flesh, it makes it that much more real. The inspiration becomes that much more of a motivating factor, Nick.
3-2 lead for Team White here as Team Teal has scored the last couple of goals. Yeah, John McCarthy said many of these players were almost nervous to be around him. It's kind of a wow moment to see a guy like Patrick Marleau, such a legend in the game. He's going to be around a lot. He has officially joined the organization in a development coach role. So will likely work quite a bit next year with the Barracudas. We've got an inboard battle, 7:53 remaining in the third. Nick Nolenberger alongside Ted Ramey as the puck is lifted left point and skated back to center ice. So see if Team Teal can tie this game up. Fisher's shot kicked aside by Krona. It'll carry him for Cardwell. And Cardwell, who Played last year in the Ontario Hockey League. Expected to become a pro this upcoming year. Will likely be with the Barracuda. Had a very good year last year in the Ontario Hockey League.
Speaking of Patrick Marleau, I got a good one for Mario Ferraro at the start of the pandemic-shortened 2019-2020 season when Marleau joined the Sharks, or rejoined, I should say. And Ferraro says, yeah, I wasn't even born when he started.
There's Muldowney, hands off, and a backhander Muldowney on a second attempt, and he cashes in. And Team Teal with 3 unanswered. And Joey Muldowney is on the board, and we're tied at 3-3. Kind of a broken play there, but Muldowney, who tried to set up initially, he tried to get the puck to Holtman, ended up taking it himself and backhanding it home. Now Holtman just kind of fanned on it, and Muldowney picked up the loose change.
We saw Muldowney earlier this morning, Nick, and it's just nice seeing these guys all get to know each other, and it's got to be quite a situation just to be thrust in. It's the middle of the summer, and suddenly it's, hey, go meet guys who could one day be your future teammates.
Yeah, no question about it. You don't know anybody first day, and 4 days later, now you have that connection, right? Now all of a sudden you have that experience together. It's a small world, hockey, as there's a deflection by Merrick just wide, and it's swallowed up on the rebound by Cronum. So we'll hit a whistle with 6:09 remaining. Clock is a running clock, so this isn't going to last too long.
No, it is not. But to the point about these guys, not knowing each other, I mean, this is what you want, that these relationships will build now, and then hopefully whether it's a Smith, a Musty, a Bystedt, that these guys will remember these moments playing alongside each other as they continue to grow in their careers. Because I think that's what you want. You look at a team like Tampa, we talk about the way that franchise grew into being just a phenomenal team, and you talk about those players spending so much time alongside each other.
No question about it. Tampa often has one of the best American League teams. You look at so many of their guys that have come through their system. They've drafted and developed, and Ted, this day and age with the salary cap, you really cannot go out there and buy your team. You really have to draft and develop and do it the slow and methodical way. And that's what the Sharks are doing. They've committed to that. You can use any R word you want. Rebuild, retool, whatever. 5:35 remaining now in this third period. Tied at 3-3. All of a sudden we've got a game. Wait with the puck just inside the blue line for Team Teal. Jammed off his stick, and we're going to get a breakaway for Weisblatt. In alone, Ozzy Weisblatt shoots, scores! Through the 5-hole of Ernst, and Team White takes its lead back.
Heads-up play by Ozzy, who got the opportunity and made it count. Didn't try and get too tricky, was pretty direct. Found the back of the net.
Little shoulder fake. Ernst hadn't quite closed the wickets, and Weisblatt sides it through. I've actually liked Weisblatt's game so far. He's a guy who you hope takes a big leap in year number 2. Alex Young now down that right side, taken away by Will Smith. Smith for Team Teal, whips it near side Holtman. Holtman down the right side, takes a peek, circles the wagons. Now pulls up in the corner. Holtman reversing course along the near side. 4:28 remaining now in the third. Not tied anymore after the goal by Weisblatt. It's a 4-3 lead for Team White. Here comes Young now for White. Deals away from Cagnoni. Up high to the point for Furlong. Holtman pestering. Furlong keeps his footing, works straight in on net. Hands off for Young, and it went through his stick. He was kind of down in his feet, and he could not handle it. Now Smith in transition for Team Teal. His shot, and it's covered up by Bopit. Hit him right in the chest as he dropped into the butterfly. 3:56 remaining in period number 3.
And Smith maybe a little bit too patient there, trying to figure out what he wanted to do. But we saw just a couple of turnovers finally start to rear their heads here in this affair, Nick, where in the last couple of years, I think we'd seen more turnovers, a little more slump overall. So that's a good sign.
Last year, Smith 127 points with the U.S. national program. One of the most prolific seasons in that program that has continually produced high-end offensive players. As here comes Team Teal down that left side. It's carried in. It's going to be an offside as Cam Thiesing was the one who's lugging the mail. And we're going to whistle with 3:16 remaining in the third period.
I think the hardest thing, Nick, is that all Sharks fans, and I put myself in this category when I think about what they're building into, You have to be patient. And it's hard to be patient because you see there is some eye-popping skill out there that we keep on alluding to.
Spitzerov skates it up the middle of the ice. Tried to get the backhand off, couldn't quite do it. Patience certainly is the key. Easier said than done. This is been such a successful organization in its history. Lund on that left side pulls up, tried to thread the needle. He had Holt parked in front, and it slid through his stick. Now Lund run into along the near side. Collided into by Pooley. Picked back up by Team Teal. Kashnikov protecting the pill. Back to the point for Lund. Lund still controls, top right circle, loads up off the pipe, he scores! Beautiful shot from Cam Lund. He was outstanding last year in development camp. This past season at Northeastern, 23 points as an 18-year-old freshman in arguably the best conference in college hockey. And I'd expect him to take a large leap this upcoming year, but a beautiful shot off the pipe and in.
And just a rip near post, no chance to catch up with that.
And we're level again at 4-4. This shootout may be the decider after all. Kashnikov down the wing, put it off the apron.
What was your reaction to the breakaway drill as opposed to a power play?
It threw me off guard. I got the medal for the breakaway instead of the penalty. Did not get the entire team trailing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Haltonen got the memo either, as he had his pocket picked in that first attempt and wasn't really skating all that fast. It's hard when you have no momentum, too.
It is hard. It's also harder when you've got the puck as opposed to just trying to chase someone.
Sure, of course. 1:10 remaining now in the third period. We're tied at 4-4. We were going to have a shootout no matter what, but that may now be the decider. But now we've got a 2-on-1. It's Cardwell and Musty. Musty down the wing, waits, hands off Cardwell. Oh, what a save by Ernst. Highway robbery. And the crowd shows its appreciation for the tryout netminder. Ernst has made a couple of 10-bell stops this afternoon. He denied Weisblatt back in that second period. 40 seconds remaining. Bystedt up and over the center stripe, off for Weisblatt. Pulls it in, tried to slide it through the 5-hole. Ernst made the save. Bystedt was a trailing forward. He'll pull it back in. Exciting end to the regulation period. Bystedt back for Weisblatt, trying to feed it for Bystedt on the give and go, and he had crumbled down to the ice. Now Smith through center, 17 seconds remaining, tied at 4-4. Smith will drop it, and Guriev had a reload, or it would have been an offside. Guriev up and over the offensive line. There's a shot. It's a 3-on-3 overtime, or excuse me, third period. So similar to an overtime, the horn will sound, so we will go to a shootout as we were planning no matter what. But this will be the decider for the Marchman Cup.
I love it.
I love it too. I thought there was an outside chance that would happen. I didn't think this would end up being the decider, but we're celebrating not celebrating, obviously, bad choice of words, but we're reflecting a little bit.
The life.
We are absolutely. We're celebrating the award now that is going to become a staple, a yearly award given out there in development camp, the Marchman Cup. It's been a year since the tragic passing of former Shark Bryant Marchman.
I was talking about him to a friend earlier today. We were just talking about how much fun it was to have him as part of the Sharks. Just one of those guys who you loved having on your side. You didn't want him on the opposition. It was great when he was in teal.
No question about it. And he was such a nice guy, too, off the ice. It's always the toughest players that are the nicest guys, right?
Nicest guys. Everyone loves them for good reason. It's one of those losses you can never replace.
So Bystedt will get the first opportunity. His left-handed shot works in, and the save is made by Romanov. So Team White 0 for 1. We'll see who Team Teal goes with. It looks like Will Smith. No surprise. So Smith, right-handed shot, will collect at center. Had a goal during regulation. Works his way in. Forehand, and he lost control.
He had a great goal during regulation. I thought that was a just brilliant heads-up play. Steal that puck away and then whip it on frame. Saw really quick hands there.
Yeah, beautiful shot in tight. So round number 2, it'll be Quentin Musty, who scored twice during regulation play. takes it slowly to the left side, works his way in as he gains speed and puts it 5-hole. Musty, impressive showing. He finds the back of the net in the top of round 2.
You know, it must be a lot of the voices that I've heard reference him just talk about his ceiling. You hope, and I'd say this through teal-tinted glasses, that he'll be one of those steals.
Here comes Lund now, trying to answer. Stick handles his way in. Bystedt stayed with him, uses that big 6'5" frame and keeps it out. So Team Teal 0 for 2, and we'll head to round number 3.
And I'll qualify by saying the steal at the end of the first round. It's not a Tom Brady situation, for instance.
So Team White will pick the puck up. Havelid will be the shooter, works in, and the save is made by Romanov. Look, you get out of the top 5, and it gets a lot more difficult to find high-end players, and this is very early in the process, but if you look at the size, you look at the skill set, and you look at the way he's played at, this is a nice little start for Quentin Musty.
Most definitely is.
So bottom of round 3, Haltonen will get the opportunity. Works in slowly to the backhand, a good poke check by Krona. So Team Teal 0 for 3. It's going to be a 5-round shootout. So Cardwell will get the opportunity in the 4th round. Cardwell will take it wide to the left. Former Barry Colt, and the save is made by Ernst. They're rotating the goaltenders. So save made by Ernst. Still just 1 goal in this shootout. That came off the stick of Quentin Musty back in round number 2. So Team Teal will try to answer here. Cagnoni, who's had an impressive showing, works in, showing off the edges, backhander, and Bystedt makes the save. This Cagnoni's slick.
You like, again, to see the confidence being exuded from these guys, because that's what a lot of the coaches want to see, is not guys being tentative, but guys that are willing to do something and show something as well.
And now Team White, and the puck lifted up and over the net. Sabota was the one who had the opportunity. So unless Team Teal can score here, to my understanding, the game will be officially over, and Team White will get the Marchman Cup. So Theo Jacobson will work in, shoots, and the save is made by Krona. And we're gonna go, I believe, now to a round number 6.
I was about to say, I think we were fooled last year as well.
They changed the rules on us before the game begins, so unless my math is incorrect, I think we're at round 6. Here's a shot by Young, shows off that quick release and scores. So Alex Young, future Sun Devil, finds the twine. So the San Jose native Laback will get an opportunity. Takes it wide left, played in Youngstown last year. His shot and the save is made by Bystedt. And we're going to go to a round number 7.
The 3 periods went pretty fast, so.
Yeah, maybe that's what's going on.
My evening's wide open, Nick.
Spitzer off. We'll bring it in. Works into the forehand, and a good save by Romanov as he's stuck with it. So now Joey Muldowney will get his crack at it. Mentioned Muldowney, good buddies with Musty growing up in the Buffalo area. Muldowney works in slowly, and he has it turned aside by Krona. He tried to sneak it through the 5-hole. Still no goals for Team White. Or excuse me, Team Teal. So we head to round number 8. Pulley, the defenseman, will get a crack. His shot and a stick save by Ernst. So now Team Teal will go. So Fisher will now get to shoot. Fisher works in, shoots, and a stick save by Bystedt. I think everybody's going to get an opportunity here at this point. But you mentioned the game flew by with the running clock.
And plus, I like to see the goalie battles that we're getting here.
So Klee will get a chance on the backhand. He tucks it past Romanov. And that will do it. So that was the game winner. Goal number point, I believe, as Klee goes forehand, backhand, and tucks it in. So Team White is going to claim the Marchment Cup as they celebrated center ice. Overall, a great event. I don't think anybody's complaining about hockey in the middle of July. Overall thoughts, though, of seeing the prospects in the flesh and seeing a lot of the members of this 23 draft class.
Like I said earlier, Nick, it's just hard to be patient right now because you get to see these players over the past couple of drafts, and of course the most recent one as well, and you see just, again, that the future is very bright for the San Jose Sharks, and you want it to happen sooner rather than later, obviously, and you see more of the mold of player that Mike Grier has brought into the fold, the turnover of names we've seen going back a couple of years ago to what we see now. So many new faces, so much high-level skill and talent that you have that excitement. You're waiting for these guys to all, make the most of this opportunity, and you kind of want to say to these guys, stay focused. You've got a great opportunity. You've been brought into the fold with a great organization. Obviously, we don't know what the future holds for every single one of these guys, but it's just, again, an incredible opportunity and a great look at what is hopefully a very, very bright future. I hope for every single one of these players, even if it won't be with just the San Jose Sharks, it's a good group of young men, and they put on a good show tonight.
So Team White at the right blue line, Team Teal at the left. They're going to bring out the Marchment Cup. Tim Burke, part of the brass for the San Jose Sharks. Mike Ricci, former Shark legend, now a member of the development coaching staff. Ricci is the one who's got the Marchment Cup in hand. Former teammate of the late Brian Marchment, who we celebrate annually now with this trophy. The winner of the Prospects Scrimmage. Just to go quickly back to Brian Marchment. Such a great legacy, and when he passed away suddenly last year at the draft in Montreal, so many people came out and talked about their interaction with him, whether it was long, whether they knew him for years, or they just met him once. There was just glowing things said about Mush, and we miss him certainly, but what a great way to honor his legacy annually in the middle of the summer with this trophy. So we miss Mush. Team White taking a celebratory photo, but a fun event.
Most definitely.
Great showing.
Right now it's not the most active time of the year in sports, so there's no better time for us to get some fun hockey to watch. And you know what? It's making me kind of think that I need to up my house's AC game hanging out here tonight, Nick. This is it's a nice, cool, temperate environment.
It sure is. Perfect environment to beat the heat. It's been cooking in San Jose over the last handful of weeks. I love the celebration with the cup too. Ozzy Weisblatt skating around. Musty, he's gonna hoist it over his head. I don't know if it weighs 35 pounds like the Stanley Cup. I believe the Stanley Cup's around 35 pounds, but sure it
looks
is
a little
light as a feather at this point.
Also, props to the fans for coming out and showing up tonight, Nick. I was really not sure what we were going to see exactly, but this beautiful building got loud. People got to come out and see the future of the San Jose Sharks. And again, to all the fans who showed up and those of you watching and listening, we appreciate you guys as always. This exists because of you. And right now these fans are getting a look at the future. And that's a big theme that we're going to be going over. But like we've seen, the future right now, honoring the past and the legacy of a very important Shark in Mush.
No question about it. Great event, great handful of days. As Ted alluded to, a bright future certainly for the San Jose Sharks. Great crowd on hand here. And before we know it, it will be training camp, rookie camp in the 23-24 season. It is roaring its way to us. Once you hit July, it feels like training camp is going to be here in the blink of the eye. But a great opportunity to see these prospects firsthand. We'd like to thank everybody who joined us on air. We'll start with Ted, kind enough to hop on, does a fabulous job on the audio network. Make sure to check out all the content on the 24-hour home of the Sharks. You can even listen to different episodes on demand. It's all at sjsharks.com. You can listen live to the stream at sjsharks.com/listen. Combined team photo. Just about to wrap this up. We'd like to thank Aaron Shaw with the Fin Factor, AJ Strong with Tilt Town USA for joining us as well. Of course, Scott Hannon, Sharks alumni, for carrying the torch with some color commentary in the first period, and the great Dan Ruzanowski, who is headed to the Hockey Hall of Fame next year. Thank you to all who joined us. Thank you to all who tuned in as well, whether you watched on the Sharks digital platforms or tuned in on the Sharks Audio Network, we sincerely thank you. Make sure to, again, check out all the content. Great job by Ted and Dan. And check out some good content as well throughout the offseason. Until training camp and until we start games again, for Ted, I'm Nick. We'll say so long and good night from the Tech CU Arena. This will close out the 2022 Sharks Prospects Scrimmage.
San Jose Sharks hockey has been brought to you by SAP, the best run SAP. By Toyota, proud sponsor of the San Jose Sharks. Toyota, let's go places. And by Kaiser Permanente. Get care like a pro with Kaiser Permanente, official team physicians of the San Jose Sharks. Now, stand by for Sharks Extra, coming up next on the San Jose Sharks Audio Network.